Hey, we were just going to do a quick review. We don't do a lot of product reviews and things like that. I find oftentimes the ones, especially the ones that you watch on YouTube, it's just some guy that you could kind of tell from the rest of his gear. He never gets out and does a damn thing with any of his gear. He never does any serious training. And he gets this nice little perfect package that he got for free from some manufacturer just to pump their product. He lays it out on the floor and he talks about how pretty it is and stuff like that. And these are the guys that you see occasionally come to classes or outings or whatever, and I mean their gear is just brand spanking new. It looks like the thing just practically still has the flipping tags on them and that. That's not how we treat our stuff. We train pretty regularly, things like that. Some of y'all folks know about some of the private classes we do, things like that. So when you see a gear review, and we don't, like I said, we don't do a lot of them, but when you do see a gear review from us, we put it through its paces, not to the nth degree, but to a pretty good standard in that. One of those things that we're going to talk about today is a chest rig from BCS Combat Systems. This is an AK specific chest rig. First got one of these about 6 or 7 months ago, and matter of fact, the one I'm wearing, and bought another one for another family member, and they followed up with an email asking, real good customer service from these folks, asking, what improvements would you make, blah de blah de blah, how'd you feel about it, that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't even bother doing that anymore. So I saw something in there that I thought, hey, these guys are looking for follow-up, they're looking for feedback, things like that. This is a place I want to do some more business with. So we got in touch with them and we told them some of the recommendations we would make if the gear was ours and all that good stuff. And they offered to send another rig for review and things like that. So we'll show you one that looks really nice and it's brand new and everything. But this is the main AK chest rig. They offer a couple different versions if you look on their website, and we'll put their website on the end of the screen at the end of the review and that. But it's an AK centric chest rig, and they do have other versions of it and that as well too. I've never been a huge fan of these until I really started running this for a while. First, right off the bat, especially to all the excuse my French, gear horse and that out there, is somebody's going to say, oh my God, these straps, they don't look wide enough. That would get so uncomfortable, blah, 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 blah. Well, if you notice, I haven't put 600 pounds of stuff on these molly attachments in the front, okay? This isn't a, I'm going to go out and patrol for 6 months type setup. This is a security around your homestead, low profile, type thing. You could easily, especially if you took off some of these additional pouches and stuff, you could easily throw a coat over this, and I've done that, and to wear it outside for all you folks that live in suburbia and things like that, where walking around like this in your front yard would be a big deal. You could definitely, by all means, put some sort of coat over there, and it doesn't have to be. And I'm not talking about like the, trench coat mafia black, school killer type coat. Just a small coat would conceal this pretty good. I like how it fits. To me personally, the straps are plenty wide enough, but that would be something that they might want to look at improving in that as well too. A little bit wider straps definitely wouldn't hurt anything. I've also lost about 50 pounds in the last 7-8 months. So I have bonier shoulders, I have bonier spots all over my body. I've worn these for, this rig here for, day at end during several classes and things like that. I haven't had a problem with it biting into my shoulders or any sort of thing like that with 5 fully loaded AK mags. And then here not too long ago I started adding the pistol mag pouches for my Glock and, TDI knife here in the front and different things like that. It's a very well made unit. Center here has a little kind of hideaway pocket. You can put additional stuff in there. I think if you add 50,000 attachments to this rig, you're kind of defeating the purpose of the rig. Again, it's not a, I'm leaving home and never coming back and have to carry everything on my back type of deal. I don't think it's designed for that, or at least I wouldn't use it for that. It's more of a, around the homestead, around the neighborhood, sort of thing. Could you modify it? Could you add additional pouches to make it more of a, I'm never coming home type deal? Sure you could. But I think that's kind of defeating the purpose of the slim line of it and things like that. It does have the MOLLE attachments here on the front, as most gear of this sort of thing does anymore. The mag pouch releases are just the standard pull over ones like this. Some of these guys will be going, well, now if we're out in the field for 6 months at a go, that's going to destroy your magazines. Well, number one, these are AK magazines. Okay, these aren't the little plastic Mattel nonsense and things like that. And second off, the way you put these in, or the way a lot of people put them in, or you should put them in, is bullet points down. So the water, the dirt, the moisture has to first off make it in the pouch, go all the way down to the bottom, and then somehow magically come back up, all the way up into here like that. I mean, it's you're going to be moving around too much for that to happen, guys. Okay, I don't think it's that big of a drawback. These sort of pullover type things. If you want ones with the flap, they have some like that on their site, and of course they're custom gear makers. They can they'll be getting more business from me. I'll tell you that much. So, if you want to zoom in, I'll turn around, we'll do the little model thing, and then, we'll splice in later on some of the different clips of some of the things we've been doing with the rig and things like that. One thing that was brought up by, a guy I know that does a lot with gear is, some of the gear that's being made, they're not using quality thread and different things like that, and over time, with UV light and with a lot of moisture from the body, a lot of sweat and perspiration, and that will start to break down those threads. So one of the things we've done with this rig, and you can tell this rig already looks a couple of years old compared to the one we'll show you in a bit, is I've ran it 1 or 2 times of the 3 or 4 times a week I run. When I've done that, I've not worn a shirt. I live in the woods, so it's not like I'm running around suburbia before anybody freaks out or go, oh my God, you broke OPSEC, blah, blah, blah. I live in the woods, we run in the woods, it's not a big deal. Okay, what that did though is that, especially in this this weather where it's nothing to have 104, 105 degrees during the afternoon when we run, when you get back, the entire inside of the entire chest rig is just soaked, with sweat and that. So even though we've only had this rig about 6 months to say, oh, this is your definite all-time best go-around, shit hits the fan rig, yeah, we're not saying that, because there hadn't been that much testing on it, but we've tried to compress in a short period of time a hell of a lot of wear and tear on this thing, okay? It's been down in the mud numerous times. You'll see me rolling around with it in the video. You'll see me crawling in the mud with it. You'll see me running in it, things like that. All that stuff, even factored into a small period of time, is going to give you a little bit of a good idea how this thing will hold up. I'm pretty happy with it. Most especially the price tag. This is around $70. It doesn't have a big, super fancy, rhino on it, or kangaroo, or whatever the hell, as far as Cool Daddy Gear Maker type stuff. It's a smaller firm, but you know what? They've impressed the hell out of me between their customer service, between their willingness to say, hey, how can we improve our stuff? That's good when any company does that. So I've been impressed with that. We're going to go ahead and pause it now. We're going to come back at the end of the video. You're going to see I'll have another little talk real quick, and we'll talk about where to get it and all that good stuff. But we're going to review and show you some of the stuff we did with the BCS chest rig, the AK specific chest rig from BCS. You can also see a written review of this on our forums at survivalandpreparedness.com. Go down to the section that's called the Gear Locker, the subforum, and there's one tacked there right now. And this is how they look, brand spanking new. The one we showed obviously in the video, we use and abuse quite a good bit. It's held up really well. We've been very happy with it. And again, these are available from www.beezcombatsystems.com. Again, this is the AK chest rig from Beez Combat Systems.com, and we'll put the website address on the screen as well. Again, you can look at the forums at survivalandpreparedness.com for more information on the review of them. From Beez Combat Systems.com, the AK chest rig.